Somebody tagged me in this video, so let's watch it together and kind of counterpoint it as we go.
This is another one that I like to think about. January 6th. Okay, I'm one of the millions of America that flocked to Washington. And they knew they were coming, and Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the National Guard and letting them know what needed to be done. You've got 1 million people coming to Washington, and you don't bring in the National Guard or the Army, Navy, or whatever to protect our capital? That's what gets me. That's number one.
Pause. Okay, let's deal with number one. You just said you were one of the millions to flock to Washington, D.C., and then complained that they didn't mobilize the National Guard or bring in the Army to protect the Capitol against you? I mean, that's what you're saying, right? You knew we were coming. You said you were part of the group, and you said you knew we were coming, and you didn't protect. So you're blaming somebody else for not viewing you as violent when you guys like to portray yourselves as a peaceful group, right? We were there to peacefully protest. We weren't there to cause any violence. But now you're saying that they should have brought up the National Guard or the Army in order to protect the Capitol from you peaceful protesters. Hey, blaming the victim for your actions doesn't excuse your actions, right? Why didn't you stop my fist from coming at your face? Not to mention the fact Nancy Pelosi doesn't control the National Guard in D.C., you human colostomy bag. The D.C. National Guard is the only National Guard unit out of all of the 54 states and territories which reports only to the president. The D.C. National Guard provides mission-ready personnel and units for active duty in the armed services in the time of war or national emergency. Only reports to the president. Therefore, the only human being on the planet that could have made the National Guard appear in Washington, D.C., either before, during, or after that rally, which turned into an insurrection, is Donald J. Trump, not Nancy Pelosi. Let's see what number two is. You're on a roll so far.
Number two is there is footage that was shown that was all about it. They took one of the men around, the guy dressed in the Indian, and let him do what he wanted to do and showed him exactly where the rooms were, the Senate chambers and everything. Are you kidding me? Can we deny that? Did you guys see that video? If you didn't, if somebody has it, post it again and keep posting it because we want the truth.
Pause.
And I do get passionate about this because I hate lies and deceit.
Pause. Posts misrepresent rioters' actions in Jan 6 Capitol attack. Claim. Footage from the Jan 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol shows that Jacob Chansley, who participated in the riot sporting face paint, no shirt, and a fur hat with horns, was, quote, led through the Capitol by police the entire time he was in the building. AP's assessment, shockingly, false. Court documents and video footage from the attack on the Capitol make clear that Chansley, who is widely known as the QAnon shaman and is one of the most recognizable Jan 6 rioters, entered the Capitol without permission, was repeatedly asked to leave the building, and was not accompanied at all times. The facts. After Fox News host Tucker Carlson broadcast Jan 6 security footage previously unseen by the public on his Monday night primetime show, social media users began sharing segments from his program that misrepresented Chansley's involvement in the riot. My apologies. Quote, breaking. Never before seen video of Jan 6 shows Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, being led through the Capitol by police the entire time that he was in the building. Reads a tweet that had received more than 889,000 likes and more than 65,000 shares as of Tuesday. The tweet includes a clip from Carlson's show in which Chansley can be seen calmly walking around the Capitol with officers in tow. Similar social media posts received hundreds of thousands of additional likes and shares. But the footage in these posts, provided to Carlson by Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, leaves out important context about Chansley's time in the Capitol during the Jan 6 riot. A statement prepared by the Department of Justice, which was signed by Chansley and his attorney, provides a timeline of the rioters' movement in the Capitol. For example, the statement explains that Chansley entered the Capitol through a broken door as part of a crowd that was not lawfully authorized to enter or remain in the building, and that he was one of the first 30 rioters inside. It goes on to note that although officers asked Chansley and others multiple times to leave the Capitol, he did not comply and actively riled up his fellow rioters. The statement describes Chansley's interactions with officers, but also points out that he entered the gallery of the Senate alone. Many of Chansley's actions on January 6th are documented in video footage from that day. Chansley pleaded guilty in September 2021 to a felony charge of obstructing an official proceeding. He was sentenced in November 2021 to 41 months in prison for his guilty plea, as well as 36 months of supervised release, and a fine of $2,000 in restitution. Strike two. What else you got?
Lies and deceit. I've been through my stuff where people lied on me. And I had to go through something, but my God is bigger than all that. He's bigger than anything. But anyways, January 6th, number 3. So, I'm Don Jude Gavey, the President of the United States. And I say, I talked to all my millions of people that believed I won the election. And a bunch of votes were sitting right there in Washington, D.C. And then I say, let's please march over to the Capitol peacefully. He didn't say, let's go terrorize the Capitol. And I know Donald Trump wouldn't do that because he loves and respects the flag. He respects Lincoln Memorial. He respects the Veterans Memorial and respects that whole place. So that's my problem. And then think about it. So here I am, Don Jude, President of the United States. And I can manipulate everybody to do what I want. Bullshit. You had 1 million people there that said, okay, we're going to do what we want to do. But somebody was leading it. And in the background, there's films of cops from Maryland escorting buses in that had Antifa. Let's go there in a minute.
A lot to unpack in part 3 here. Where do I begin? 1, why do you call him Don Jude? His name is Donald John Trump, otherwise known as Der Muskführer, the Orange Shit Goblin, or any number of fabulous names that our friend North Omaha Cat Lady have come up with over the years for him. You should check out her account. She's got a whole barrage of them. 2, would love to see the footage of government bussing in Antifa, because I don't even think I have enough tinfoil hat made up to deal with that. 3, he told everybody, please go over to the Capitol safely and peacefully. Really?
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
My hearing must not be so good. And as far as him loving veterans,
I don't like losers. He's not a war hero. He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
I'd say that's strike 3. You're out.